Third time's the charm. Welcome to Crunchy Culture, where I, Tina Sorensen, dig into the latest wellness buzz from the news and share my unfiltered thoughts and opinions. Join me every Tuesday for a dose of snarky humor, the latest in wellness trends, my current obsessions, and of course, a recipe or wellness tip to inspire your journey. This episode is brought to you by me, the Wellness Blondie. If you're passionate about natural remedies, holistic wellness, and delicious whole food recipes, head over to the Wellness Blondie blog for inspiring content to nurture your mind, body, and soul. Exciting news, you can now watch these episodes on YouTube, Spotify, or my website. Plus, if you subscribe on my website, you can get these delivered directly to your inbox, so you never miss an episode. My current obsession that we're going to be diving into this week is underconsumption. I stumbled across this concept on social media a few months back, and my first reaction was, what kind of minimalist mumbo jumbo is this? But after peeling back the layers, I realized it's basically the holy trinity of reduce, reuse, recycle, but with a shiny Instagram-worthy makeover. Classic social media for you, right? Here's the deal. What influencers are saying about underconsumption isn't just a remix of save that spaghetti sauce jar for leftovers, although honestly, who doesn't love a solid upcycle? It's all about consciously consuming less in every part of your life. It's not just about your wallet either. It's about reevaluating every habit and asking yourself the hard-hitting questions, like, do I really need this new kitchen gadget, or can I Frankenstein a solution with what's already in my drawers? Can I justify wearing my jeans just one more time before they hit the laundry? Or am I officially crossing the line into rustic chic chaos? I'm there. Is my pantry actually stocked for practical use? Or am I subconsciously gearing up for some post-apocalyptic scenario? Underconsumption challenges us to buy smarter, waste less, and be intentional with what we have. Influencers are giving it an upgrade with ties to zero waste, sustainable fashion, and conscious consumerism. Think mending your clothes instead of tossing them, eating through your fridge instead of chasing that next TikTok food trend, and telling Amazon and that 20% off coupon code, not today capitalism. So naturally, I've been reflecting on my own habits, and let me tell you, the rabbit hole is deep. How much stuff do I own that is purely decorative dust? Way too much. How many had to have it impulse buys are buried in my junk drawer? Too many to count. Adopting this mindset hits on everything from how you spend your money to how you live your life. This brings me to a TikTok that stopped my scroll and had me shouting, "Preach, sister!" Apologies in advance. I'd love to credit the creator, but thanks to TikTok's black hole of forgotten videos, I cannot find them. The first part featured someone doing a Marie Kondo style decluttering spree to embrace underconsumption. But then another creator stitched in and dropped the truth bomb. This right here is the problem. And they're right. We overbuy and then declutter, thinking we're making a difference by donating to thrift stores. But here's the reality check. Thrift stores are drowning in overstock. Why? Because people aren't shopping there. So what happens to all that excess? It eventually ends up in landfills. So are we really solving anything or just shifting the problem to a new location? The solution? The TikTok creator suggested finding a local community Facebook group where people can post items they no longer need and give them away for free. Yep, free. This way, you're not contributing to landfill overflow or relying on resale shops to handle that surplus. Instead, you're getting items directly into the hands of people who actually need and want them. It's less of a quickly decluttering dopamine hit and more of a meaningful way to repurpose your stuff. Honestly, it's a game changer. No more feel-good surface level fixes. This underconsumption meets intentional action, and I'm here for it. So what do you think? Would you try it, or are you clutching your overflowing junk drawer with "not today" TikTok? Let me know your thoughts below. Okay, to the meat of this episode and what we really came here for. Personalized nutrition. This hot new trend where everyone thinks they need their diet curated like a Spotify playlist. DNA, microbiomes, specific health needs. It's the Whole Foods version of "you're special," but let's unpack if it's worth the hype. Does DNA even matter for your diet? Here's the tea. I do think your gut microbiome plays a big role in what you should eat to have a healthy gut. Switching to a paleo-style diet was the glow up my gut needed. But, and this is important, that's my gut story, not yours. Case in point, my husband and son thrive on a low-carb keto diet, while my daughters crush it with whole foods and zero restrictions. And me, somewhere in the middle. But here's the kicker. Aren't we supposed to have similar DNA since we're all related? If so, why are our diets so different? Could it be the microbiome? Spoiler, it probably is. Now let's get nerdy with the NIH. According to the National Institutes of Health, aka Smarty Science folks, personalized nutrition, PN, is a game changer. It combines genetic profiles with tailored diet recommendations to optimize health and manage chronic diseases. Fancy stuff, right? Research highlights how DNA, diet interactions, can impact conditions like diabetes and obesity. Translation: if science figures this out, one day your kale salad might come with a side of genetically ideal dressing. PN involves analyzing your genetics, phenotype, biochemical data, and nutrition to create a personalized plan. Cool in theory, but will peasants actually see this tech? From food scarcity to UPF abundance and how we got here. Let's rewind. Humanity used to focus on getting enough food to survive. Now, we're dealing with chronic diseases because our modern diets are packed with UPFs, ultra-processed foods, aka not real food disguised as food. Are these researchers actually counting UPF as food? If so, it's a fucking joke. Dietary guidelines shifted over time, pushing plant-based diets like vegetarian, Mediterranean, and Asian diets, all supposedly better for preventing chronic disease. Sounds legit, right? Or is it? Insert tinfoil hat moment. Were chronic diseases even a thing back when we were chomping on animal-based meals? Or did these diseases rise when we traded steak for ultra-processed filled plant-based everything? Just asking some questions here. The food pyramid is a scam. Yep, I said it. The food pyramid or plate or whatever geometry they're using these days isn't about health. It's about control. follow the food pyramid, load up on UPFs, get sick, and bam, you're stuck in the cycle. Pharma meds, constant doctor visits, and endless "why do I feel like garbage" vibes. Revolutionary thought: eat whole foods and exit the hamster wheel. Fun genetic trivia: genes influence nutrient metabolism. For example, the MTHFR gene affects how your body handles folate, linking it to heart disease and diabetes. Makes sense, but I'm still hung up on how all my kids' diets differ from mine. A quick Goog told me they inherit 50% DNA from me and 50% from my husband. Cool. That explains my son eating keto like his dad, but my girls? Maybe they've got fewer DNA abnormalities than me. So, is it the gut microbiome? Before we dig into microbiome magic, PSA, most of the science is still in the "we're testing on cancer patients" phase. Translation: don't expect a personalized diet plan with your next Amazon Prime order. Now for the microbiome 101. The NIH describes the gut microbiome as a bustling metropolis of trillions of microorganisms chilling in your gut. Bacteria, fungi, viruses, you name it, these critters are in there, influencing your digestion, immune health, and even brain function. Yes, brain fog might be your gut's fault. Diet massively affects your microbiome, which in turn determines how you digest food. Researchers combined genetic microbiome and health data to develop personalized plans. Results? Very impressive. Participants saw improvements in food and nutrient intake, body metrics, and overall health. But is this just science fiction for the rich? All of this sounds fascinating and effective, but the cost could keep it locked away in Luxuryville for years. Let's break it down. Traditional nutrition is simple, cost-effective, and as basic as toast. But it lacks personalization and feels like a Windows 95 in 2024. Personalized nutrition is highly individual, could revolutionize health. Crunchy moms are already drooling, but it's expensive, complex, limited, and wrapped up in privacy concerns. So will it go mainstream soon, or live in the land of jetpacks and flying cars? You tell me. It might make America healthy again by preventing diseases, even for those with dicey epigenetics. The crunchy culture's been yelling this for years. Get back to eating whole foods and ditch ultra-processed foods, or at least strip out the junk like seed oils and mountains of sugar. Personalized nutrition sounds incredible, but while we're waiting for it to hit reality, there's one surefire approach: real, whole foods win every time. Your microbiome? Well, thank you. Next up, vagus nerve stimulation. So let's get into it. I'm still obsessing over it. If you didn't catch my rant about it the other week, on your favorite platform, why not? Let me fill you in. Hot and cold therapy. Totally my jam. Resetting the vagus nerve. So why is this even trending? The answer's simple. Most of us are stuck in permanent fight or flight mode. Thanks, modern world. Between work stress, doom scrolling, and let's not forget global pandemics and economic chaos, our nervous systems are ready to tap out. Here's the nerdy bit. The vagus nerve is basically the MVP of your nervous system. It's the longest nerve in your body, stretching from your brain all the way down to your stomach. When you stimulate it, you're sending little electrical impulses to your brain, which can chill you out and help with a host of issues. What issues, you ask? Well, depression that's too stubborn for therapy, recovery after a stroke, chronic inflammation that makes you feel like you aged a decade overnight. VNS is a game changer, and guess what? You don't need to hook yourself up to a fancy machine to get these benefits. Here are some simple ways to stimulate your vagus nerve. Yoga, not just for pretzel poses and Instagram likes. Certain yoga moves actually activate the vagus nerve. Massage. Now I'm talking neck, shoulders, and feet. Because why stop at stress relief when you can have full-on relaxation? I love it when my sister, mom, and friends do a girls' day and we order a massage therapist that comes to one of our houses. We all get together, have a couple of drinks, some good snacks, conversate, and we all get a massage. Foot reflexology. Fancy talk for a good old foot rub. Your vagus nerves loves this stuff. Tell your partner how by giving you a foot rub, they're helping you heal. Cold therapy. Short-term cold exposure, like ending your shower with cold water, can work wonders. It's unpleasant, yes, but worth it. Plus, you'll have bragging rights for surviving it. Or, depending on your geological area, you could just step outside for a few minutes in your skivvies or swimwear. That's how I'm doing it. With my SIRS diagnosis, I've been leaning into hot-cold therapy because, fun fact, one of my main symptoms is vertigo. And trust me, trying to do yoga when you can't hold your balance, not the Zen experience it's cracked up to be. But here's the good news. With my current detox protocol, I am seeing progress. I haven't had to touch my vertigo medication daily, which is a huge win in my healing journey. For context, I couldn't even function without it before. So yeah, I'm doing a little victory dance over here. Now, I'm not tossing that prescription in the trash just yet. Let's be real. Healing from toxic mold exposure isn't a linear process, and flare-ups happen. But with this win on my scoreboard, I'm ready to ease some yoga back into my self-care routine. Baby steps, but it's on the list. So, have you tried vagus nerve stimulation yet? Or are you more of a no way Jose kind of person? If you're watching this on YouTube or my website, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your take. For the last topic I want to cover this week, the wellness generation. Millennials, the reigning champs of avocado toast and yoga studios, are undeniably at the forefront of a wellness renaissance. But is this drive toward health and self-care fueled by genuine enlightenment or a desperate scramble to manage the deck of health issues we've been handed? Honestly, it's probably a bit of both. Let's unpack the why. First, we're witnessing skyrocketing rates of conditions like infertility, autoimmune disorders, prediabetes, and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, all cropping up in people much younger than you would expect. It's like millennials were given a bonus level of life challenges to navigate. Combine that with the visibility social media provides, and health issues are no longer whispered behind closed doors. They're broadcasted in stories and reels. Chronic fatigue, leaky gut, post goes live at 9 a.m. What's wild is how quickly health struggles have transitioned into both a personal mission and a community conversation. I should know. I've been on this wellness roller coaster for 2 decades. As a proud Zennial, I was whipping up quinoa bowls and blending green smoothies long before they were trendy. When my firstborn came along, my health journey hit the fast track. Only back then, resources were scarce. My wellness crew was limited to grainy library book photos and basic blog posts, and most of these blogs were glorified sales pages for MLMs. My gut health guesses were more like stabs in the dark. Oh, how I craved even one support group to swap recipes or confirm I wasn't totally off my rocker. Now, it's an entirely different world. With social media and online forums, you have wellness advice at your fingertips. But here's the kicker. Convenience doesn't equal clarity. For every inspiring post about overcoming health challenges, there's another advising something so absurd. It would be funny if it weren't concerning. From bashing brands simply because someone in Idaho disagrees with their company's vision or practices, rather than questioning the actual ingredients, to promoting DIY protocols like deworming and so-called detox magic that sound more like a wild science experiment than safe practices. It's pure chaos out here, people. Sometimes it feels like influencer science has a stronger hold on the narrative than peer-reviewed research. What started as a quest for health has occasionally veered into fear-based and trend-chasing tactics. Certain online health groups feel more like a contest of extremes, like who can eat cleaner or avoid more toxins. Don't even get me started on the endless supplements influencers peddle with vague promises and zero disclaimers. While accessibility to health advice has empowered so many, it has also invited a lot of misinformation on it. That said, millennials are the trailblazers of this wellness way for one reason: resilience. Despite the overload of half-baked info, there are ones out there calling out nonsense, diving into ingredient lists, and spreading awareness about the importance of mental health alongside physical health. They're not just adapting, they're challenging the systems that got us into this mess in the first place. But here's the real question. Are we building a sustainable, informed path to wellness? Or are we burning out chasing health perfection? Where's the line between educating others and spiraling into overconsumption of wellness itself? So what's your take? Have you spotted advice that made you roll your eyes so hard you got a headache? Or maybe you had a genuine wellness win that changed your life. Let's spill the kombucha free tea on the good, bad, and the absolutely absurd corners of this wellness boom. Share your story. Bonus points if it involves one of those "what was I thinking" moments. I've got lots of them. Let's face it, staying in the loop on wellness trends is basically a full-time job these days, but hey, someone's got to do it. And if you've got opinions, stumbled on anything eye-roll worthy, or you just want to dish about the latest health craze, I'm all ears. Drop a comment, tag me on socials, or shoot me an email. And now, for the creme de la creme of the episode. If you would like to be featured on the podcast, send me your favorite recipe or wellness tips and I will be happy to share them along with a shout out in an upcoming episode. This week, I want to focus on kicking off 2025 as your best wellness year yet. I've got my current routine fairly dialed in, but I'm always tweaking it to fit better with my schedule and life. Whether it's a shift in priorities or simply learning what your body needs, flexibility is key. If you're ready to start your wellness journey or fine-tune your routine, here are a few tips that have worked for me. Start with a solid foundation. Focus on the basics: whole foods, hydration, quality sleep, and stress management. These are the pillars of good health and will set the tone for all other aspects of your wellness. Track and adjust. Keep track of what's working and what isn't, whether it's journaling, using a habit tracker, or just noting changes in your energy levels. This gives you valuable feedback for making adjustments. Build flexibility into your routine. Life gets busy. It's okay to shift things around, depending on what's going on. I've learned that consistency does not mean perfection. It means making mindful choices whenever possible. Set realistic goals. Instead of aiming for drastic changes, set small, achievable wellness goals. Progress comes in increments. Celebrate every win. And make it yours. Your wellness journey should be personal. What works for someone else might not suit you, and that's perfectly fine. Do what feels right for you and your body and your life. Don't be afraid to make tweaks as you go. I hope these tips help you craft a wellness routine that works for you, setting you up for your best year yet. Plus, if you join the TWB Low Toxin and Wellness group, you could join our 75 Low Toxin and Wellness Challenge. I hope this episode brought some fresh insight or at least a shred of motivation for you to tackle the day without looking like a hot mess express. And hey, if you're all about multitasking or you just like to see the real chaos, check out the full video on YouTube, Spotify, or my website. And hey, if you're loving the podcast, or even if you're just mildly entertained, why not drop a quick rating and review on your favorite platform? It would mean the world to me and also help more wellness lovers find us, which is basically like spreading good vibes but with less granola. Because we don't want those Roundup Ready oats in our bodies. And more real talk. Your feedback helps others find their way to the hive and join this wellness journey. Thanks in advance for making me feel like a podcast rock star, even though I'm not slaying it right now. Until next time, nurture your mind, body, and soul, because no one else can do it your way. And remember, wellness is a journey with twists and turns, so embrace the ride, stay crunchy, and let's reshape this hive together.